Welcome back to the series around successful chiropractors, what makes successful chiropractors. And last week I talked about I'm going to create a series on the most important things that help you become successful as a chiropractor. And the first, I'm going to do a series of these, and each video I'm going to share one particular trait, and we're going to expand on it and to help you kind of really learn to navigate, to help you really get to that point of success. In this video, I want to talk about the trait I believe is really important as part of this series, which is about, because last week I talked about how most successful chiropractors are the ones who actually have a why they became a chiropractor and have a why of actually being there and really serving. In this video is about sort of adding on to that trait, which is a tag on, which is like, once you know your why, I think the second, important trait here is consistency. The consistency meaning like there's that willingness, right? Because if you have your why, then you're most likely going to be able to embody this trait very easily. I find that successful chiropractors are always consistently moving towards getting better. And my mantra around this is about 1% better. You don't need to be like 100% better. You don't need to be 50% better all the time, because those are times when which people are trying to like make leaps and bounds and they feel like they have to do that. I think that I really disagree with that statement. Like, no one ever gets better at anything by just, having these big spikes. Right? If anything, because if you have a big spike up, then you're most likely going to have a big spike coming down as well. And so really, I'd rather see is consistency as a person, learning that there's going to be growth in there, is incremental growth. I'd rather grow slowly, but knowing for sure that I'm going to get there, than having this fluctuation of growth and goes up and down, because the ups are awesome, obviously very good highs, but the downs can be very debilitating emotionally and psychologically. So the trait that I want to talk a lot about today is really just having the consistency of being 1% better. 1% better matters a lot, because if you're 1% better a little bit at a time, one day at a time, you're going to work on the little things. We're going to work on not big projects, because oftentimes big projects are fun and sexy to go after and do those big things. But oftentimes we forget that in order to do those big projects or make those big decisions or make those big leaps, you have to take incremental steps. You have to take small little steps leading towards it before you make a big jump. Life is not a series of jumps. Life is about moving forward, and once in a while you need to make the decision to make those big leaps. I think that's really important distinction around that, because oftentimes there's a lot of fear when you make a big leap. There's a lot of like hesitation to make a big leap, and there's a lot of risk when you make a big leap. So therefore, I'm not asking you to take big leaps all the time. If anything, if most people kind of look at all really amazing entrepreneurs and all these business people who have taken chances and they make all these big leaps, and how that's why they're successful. That's not why they're successful. What they have done is learn to like move forward consistently, small, and every small movement leads to a bigger movement and more confidence to kind of add to that. And they committed more, they got more confidence, they figured out how to do those small things. So therefore they have the confidence to actually take bigger steps. And those bigger steps have they commit to more bigger steps. They figure out how to gain some confidence around that. They start to really kind of create more certainty. They start to create more knowledge, and then they're gonna start to add to that. And so when you more courage, and so they kind of keep on going. So the steps become bigger and bigger, and you always go to a point where you come to an edge, and meaning that you come to an opportunity where you do have to make a big leap, because there's no more edge to go. You can't inch any more forward. Then you have to make a decision. But usually most people look at that one big leap at the end as this big thing, but forgetting and failing to see how many small little steps that they took to kind of get to that edge in the first place, right? Maybe moving a different practice, or moving to a different country, or maybe, take a bold move and buying a practice, or whatever it is. Like you don't ever see the backstory on how they got there in the first place. So I really encourage you to think about practice like this. Like, practicing and owning a business, it's about taking those incremental steps. What that requires, of course, is focus. You got to stay focused on those little things, and got to know, the assumption is made, is that you know what those 1% are. And that's when having a perspective or a coach comes into play. Right? We're not there just to always consistently help you grow. That's how coaches help you grow, is because they're looking for those inadequacies. They're looking for those potholes. They're looking for the things that you don't know. They're helping you see the things you don't want to see, because you're trying to avoid them, because no, it's not uncomfortable. You're trying to help you hear things you don't want to hear, so that you can become the person you need to be to get to that next level. You can't just make a jump if you stay consistent to who you are. You need to become that next version of yourself so that you can make that leap. That's what a coach does. Whether, and this is not just a promotion for me, this is for what coaches are supposed to do in business and sports and everything else in life, right? That's what, as a father, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help my kids prepare themselves to be a better version of themselves, so when they need to make the tough decision, they know how to do that or execute that. They will fail along the way, but they will learn something from it, and they can pick themselves up and move forward. That's what I'm trying to prepare. Am I going to be successful? I don't know. Only time will tell. But that's what you kind of need, or what you need help with. That could be a friend. It could be someone you hire. It doesn't matter. But if you're trying to do this on your own, it's going to be very difficult, because most likely you're taking small little steps. And that assumption is that you're assuming that you know what steps to take. So I think the whole point of the video, and I'll quickly summarize, is one, you need to take big leaps. But before you can make big leaps, you need to take small steps leading up to the edge. And in order for you to take the steps forward, you need to know what steps you need to take in the first place. So if you don't know that, then you need to solve that problem first before you take the steps, then before you can make the big leap. So if you want to make those big leaps, then you might want to figure out is, what are my inadequacies? What are my potholes that I need to kind of jump over? What are all the obstacles I need to navigate around? And how can I take the steps forward to become a better version of myself? That is what successful chiropractors do. That's what successful business people do. And if you want to engage with me, you want to actually get some consults around that, please DM me. We actually have a couple of spots open. So that's what I would recommend you do. After this video, I would love for you to sit back and think, what are some of the things I need to continue moving forward with, so that I can make those big leaps when they matter and when they count. I'm Laurence Tham from Driver Practice. This is your chiro coach. Make sure you check this out. I'd love for a comment below. You can check this out on YouTube. You can check it on Facebook, and go to my site at laurencetam.com. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.